Hello, fellow soap eaters. How are we doing? It is Wednesday, my dudes. Yeah. Hello, how is it going? Hello, hello. Hi, Oof Noise. How are you doing today? Didn't get news weapon. What an intro. You know what? It's silly day. You know, silly Willy and Goofy Sholmesy. I don't know. What kind of word can I rhyme with that? I don't know. How are you doing, Ash? Didn't get Nublet's weapon, but prototype Amber's the best one. That's good. You're gonna go for Topaz. You're skipping for Jingli for Topaz. Ooh, Numby is quite cute. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tempted to pull solely for Numby because Numby is adorable. I love trotters, they're very cute. Hello, Jill, welcome. How's it going? The reporter did it, the one with the hat. The baby did it. Yes, it's the baby. Oh my god, the baby came all the way to London to force little Willy to eat soap and die. How are you doing, Joe? How's it going? But yes, today is probably going to be very silly, considering the talk of all the discussions about eating soap, and now William Shakespeare on the scene, just with his little dancey dances and everything. It's gonna be a silly day indeed, and I'm here for it. I'm gonna be able to finish the Trailblaze continuance. It's my character. Oh no, I'm sorry about that. I'm at the point where I'm just trying to, like, all of my characters are fully ascended in Star Rail, but not all their traces are, like, leveled up. So right now I'm trying to get everybody's main traces to, like, a decent level so that I can just swap in anybody at any time, hypothetically, as long as I put a good light cone and relics on them. Because I like to use all my characters. Even the ones that don't get much attention, you know, like Hook, Arlen, I want to use all of them. March 7th, although I want to build her to work with Clara, since I feel like I should build Clara. I need some AoE physical. Slowly healing, there's progress, just not as fast as, like, it is what it is. Oh, well, I'm glad you're healing, at least, and I hope it gets better, hope you get much better soon. The animations for this game are all mocap, and Shakespeare has the most sprites in the game. I love that so much. It's what he deserves. I love to imagine the actor just doing all those little silly animations and everything. I mean, Marsh, does she? I mean, she is like the mascot in a sense. But I would probably use her more if I didn't pull Japard early on, honestly. I guess she does kind of get some use, and I do want to build her, like I said, I want to build her to put in a team with Clara. Because I want to build Clara. Clara is kind of like my main focus of, like, the next character I truly want to invest in. You know, Takarazuka Revue, the Japanese women's theater troupe, they did the mocap. Oh my god, that's awesome! That's so cool! I love that! Nice! What else have they done? I'm not really familiar with their work. I wish I had Locha, me too. Locha would make my Star Rail life a lot easier, but it was not in the cards at the time. Mayhaps next time I can get him. He's probably my highest priority rerun character. I use shields more than healers in Genshin, but healers more in Star Rail. Interesting. I probably would be a mainly, like, healer user if I didn't have Japard. I mean, Japard was my first 5-star, and he makes your team unkillable, and then I just pulled Fu Xuan, who makes your team even more unkillable. So I'm like a preservation girly at this point, because I got 2 super strong preservation units. They did a DGS stage play. I will need to watch it when I'm done with this game, for sure. I do have links. Yeah, I also want to build links for my Clara team to for the heals and the increased aggro towards her with her skill. I'm going to build Clara, March 7th, links, and then some sort of buffer, like Ting Yun or whoever I can just throw in there. But yeah, I want to build Clara for sure. But yes, I want to see Silly Willy. I miss. Why am I acting like I haven't seen him lately? I literally saw him yesterday. I just love silly men. Silly men are silly. They make me laugh. Anyways, and could be like, I haven't done, like, proper Shakespeare stuff since, like, college. I did some monologues for, like, my voice and speech classes and everything, and this is, like, going back to that. Pretty cool. Yeah. Why don't we hop into the game? Because I want to finish this case today if we can. I feel like we should be able to. If it's just one day for the cases and everything. Well, my husband, gay Shakespearean actor, come back from war. The time between streams, literally. Oh my god, and I saw the art that Neri posted in the Discord, with the, hello, why did my music just, Spotify is tweaking. I saw the art that Neri posted in the Discord. About the duel, or not the duel, the battle, the literary debate, gay nerds fighting. I need to see more art of that scene. I need to know exactly what went down there. I hope somebody wrote like a fic, like scripting out that whole scene and how exactly that whole debate went. Because I would pay actual money to see that. The gay nerds fighting. Alrighty. Let's hop on in. Oh, we can, oops. Oh, there too. Hi, Kazuma. I miss you dearly. Hi, babes. I miss Kazuma. Anyways. I stopped not at a proper breaking point because it was getting very late and I was hungry and I was kind of overheated in my room because the heater's on now. And I'm normally a person that gets cold very easily, but my room was also typically hotter than normal, and so I was kind of getting overheated last night in my room, so I had to like step out for a bit. And then I played some more Paper Mario Thousand Year Door afterwards. I am on World 3 of that game, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with that. It's very fun. Alright, anyways, we are about to do our first, what's it called? Summation examination. And here we go. They think this man really was about to poison his literary rival. Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous. Hey, bestie, do you want to get in on the gay nerds fighting? So, this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. Heh. This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished. Second Ryunosuke death this trial. Look at his pointy little shoes!
Get up, Mr. Naruhodo, please! The trial isn't over yet.
What do you mean, Mr. Sato?
What about the information I found in this encyclopedia of British law I have? That obscure right that belongs to the defense in these situations? Remember?
Mm-hmm. I love that, like, Van Zeech has just, like, come to expect by the last trial of the first game. He's just like, well, if all the jury is, like, guilty, and I'm like, well, I presume you will go about with this ancient right of the law. Mm-hmm. He's just like, yeah, go ahead, get it over with. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. But here in a British court of law, if we can reverse the decisions of a majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. Alright. This trial can't end now. Kazuma, give me strength. I love that, like, in this outfit, the implication that, like, reaching for his armband is, like, a subconscious thing that he does for, like, comfort and reassurance, and I'm already gonna make myself sad. Come on, make your man proud. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. The defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord. Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth.
Maybe your ideas are wrong, buddy, and we are fighting for the truth.
Certainly no other defense counsel in recent times has exercised the right to a summation examination. Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be... Did you not watch me alter... At this point, I've gone up against you twice in court, so, like, did you not see me convince the jury otherwise multiple times across both those trials, buddy? You know that's not true, buddy. Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. The court will proceed with the summation examination outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law. Thank you, my lord. Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Alright, how many of these statements are actually going to be related to the trial? Believe me, my lord, we know all about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it. Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. I still think this guy, he could be the guy in Olive's picture, mayhaps. Because he had like that kind of like blonde bangs like that. I don't know. The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. Also, when I see this guy, it was probably reinforced by seeing him bite his cane like a little chipmunk or something, but he looks like one of the guys that on Groundhog Day, like, dresses up and brings out Punxsutawney Phil for, like, the shadow thing. He looks like he's dressed up for Groundhog's Day. The funniest thing, I have a funny story. Kiryu-chan! Hello, Kim, how are you doing? I'm about to tell my funny Groundhog Day story. I will never forget. When I was in first grade and we were talking about, it was around Groundhog's Day, my teacher told us that they give Punxsutawney Phil a potion every year to keep him alive. And they've been doing that since the start of Groundhog's Day. He's been the same groundhog and they've just been giving him potions to keep him immortal. One of the funniest things in my entire educational experience, looking back on that. Congrats on getting. Oh, thank you, Cam. Yes. Oh, how about that Rodent is having? Yeah. Oh yes. Also, might as well. I need to make a YouTube command. Hold on. Sorry. I will read juror number 2's statement again in a second.
But I finally got around to getting my highlights for Rise from the Ashes out. I did. Hold on. Well,
I need to make a proper YouTube command because I know that I'm making videos. Funny but not true. Yeah, it was interesting. Anyways, what did this say? What did juror number 2 say?
Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid.
Alrighty.
Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, has a
Oh my god, dude. Alrighty with the casual racism.
There's no evidence to suggest that the gangling actor is a fraudsman. For now, at least.
Ah, I really don't care, like, I just need this trial to end quickly.
3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know, nothing at all.
Oh my god, juror number 6, this guy actually has a relevant statement for the summation examination? Whoa! That's my favorite juror design outfits, juror number 4. I do love that design, I like it a lot. I knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced.
It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shakespeare is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen.
We're gonna expose him for the filthy actor that he is. If you ask me, they've been watched by strange theatrical movements.
And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume has said appears to have registered at all.
Expose that twink! Yes! Let's not forget, I've pleaded with the jury on Soseki-san's behalf before and it worked, so you never know.
Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how a summation examination works, Mr. Naruhodo.
I mean, this is a different game, so it's the recap of instruction and all.
Well, you're still very new to British law, after all.
That's true, I suppose, and Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now, too. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Susato-san out. Should I let her talk me through it again, or...? I know. Oh, it's kind of nice. It's just a little refresher if you needed a reminder between games and stuff. Thank you for the kind offer, Miss Susato. But I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary.
Of course, I understand, and I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like.
Because you're the best judicial assistant in the world! I love her so much. The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement, finding two that are contradictory, and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other. I get the girls to fight. It's mainly because these games can't have theories apart from each other. People could have forgotten them in mechanics. Exactly. Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Let's go. Yes, my lord. We got this. And he's holding on to Kazuma. Aww. The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. I don't know about the straight part, buddy. Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars? I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example. Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is no liar. I mean, he did kinda try to skirt around the fact that he was in Shakespeare's room last night, but understandably so, because why would he want to go through this again? Like, he's understandably, like, freaked out from his recent experience and doesn't want to go through this again. Look, the point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was the Japanese man's tea. Whether you take the gas man's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer. Well, that's alarmingly logical. Wow, a juror is actually being logical. Let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman with a gentleman's wishes. I thought your name was Bruce, not Frank. If it turns out the old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all, I'd gladly change my decision about the defendant. What if he thinks this whole thing is a performance and he is playing a role? And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same, isn't that right?
Well, yes, perhaps. Though I don't see it happening.
What's that elderly gent on the end here, you know? You'll have to speak up. Look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over. How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury? Jeez. Kazuma, give me strength. All right, sir. I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said.
Hold it!
So, you like this guy, huh? Are you saying you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid?
No, that's not what I said. The point is, the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie?
Maybe he, again, like I said, maybe he's petty and just wants Natsume convicted of this crime because he has a different opinion. Where does the court get these jurors? That is a good question. They did say they wanted to bring some of the same jurors back from the first time that this defendant was on trial, but even then, these jurors are very... yeah. What is the process here?
And yes, he is rather splendid.
So you say yet again.
Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously, it's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all.
Oh my god, what do you even mean by that? Splendid logic there, madam. Yeah. What do you even mean by that? Oh my god. No, not one of those things is a reason to find the man guilty.
But he is fishy. There's no point dancing around the fact.
He's Japanese, he has a mustache. Why does him being Japanese automatically make him more suspicious?
You see, you arrived at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps like a waltz, in fact. You know, the more I think about it, the more this trial seems like a dance.
You seem to be several steps ahead of yourself, though, and you're on the wrong foot. No, there's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt.
But the victim's version of events is backed up by what the big-chinned man next to him says, isn't it? 1, he saw the Japanese man there. 2, he saw no one else. And 3, he saw the Japanese oh. That's another 3 steps. All this really does seem more and more like a waltz, does it?
Right. The prosecution will waltz us way to victory if I let you speak much more. Shut up, Joe, number 3.
Hold it!
For now, at least. A fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madam? I like her hat. I like big hats.
It really is a most tiresome problem for the company, most irritating. We can be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence, we can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued.
I'm sorry, you've lost me a little there. Who are you?
I'm the wife of Augustus Alamont, owner of the Alamont Gas Company.
Where Mr. Barry B. Benson works? Good gracious! Alamont Gas, you say?
Gas is the future of energy in this country and around the globe, but proper handling is essential. As I'm sure our employee from the East End branch office would be the first to agree.
Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Gotta be used properly. Alamont Gas is the best in the world, of course. Oh, she's the queen bee. I'm seeing the color scheme now. She is like the queen bee, and he's the worker bee.
I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right. He bowed in deference to his employer's wife, did he? So would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Minaman was watching that what Mr. Shanspeare was up to in his room?
I'm afraid there's no end to the lengths the population of the East End will go in order to steal our gas. So really, I have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudsman, but to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigations.
So you mean Mr. Shanspeare is...
I wouldn't come out and say it in public, but you can finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief.
There's her own stinger. You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you?
The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen.
What the fuck, dude?
Faith, wouldst thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin? But seraphs hear not insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around you until they find it. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an Alamont gas.
My God, Jesus! So Mr. Shanspeare has been stealing gas, and didn't she say, she's like, there's no evidence that he's a fraudsman, but like she suspects him of that. If we can prove it, then I wonder, juror number 4. If you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement.
My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed?
A little before that part about abject violence, if it's not too much trouble.
Yes, of course.
Interesting. He's a common thief. No, he's rather splendid. A common thief. I'm gonna press everybody first. You know what? Let's press this one and see if she says anything new.
That's a bold claim. How can you be so sure? It's really very simple. Noble lady of gas, I pray thee, hold thy tongue! I beg your pardon. Hath that rank-odoured air that doth our darkness illuminate any place in this assembly? Nay! 'Tis a sole import here that somewhat would extinguish the light of my own life.
She's no time for this.
Verily, I ne'er recall stealing thy gas, but pray, let the matter rest till anon.
Why, you little... Begging your pardon, milady, but might I suggest you don't say anything more at this stage? We need hard evidence first. If I keep secretly watching the bloke, I'll get him in the end. He'll slip up. Do you think maybe that secret's out of the bag?
Oh, this is so frustrating.
So can we get some sort of evidence that he is, slipping up? Alright.
Hold it!
Keep talking about needing to take home some money. What's that all about, sir? Finish last, that's what it's about. What's that? I'm talking about the Derby at Hyde Park, aren't I? It was the Queen's Cup last week, wasn't it? Derby? It was a dead cert. The thing, I couldn't lose, so I took my wife's secret savings, like... But then, the hopeless old mare went and did the unthinkable. That stupid finish last.
Oh dear, I think it's clear what happened, isn't it?
Bro is a gambler. This is the day the missus uses her savings for a trip down to the pub. So come on, let this business lie now. Just give it up. No, that's not gonna happen. Okay. 3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, but the defendant is not your age. What do you really mean by that, sir? Well, I'm not one to boast, but I get up at 5 every morning, I do. At 5? You're a really early riser then, aren't you? What's that now? I said you're an early riser. Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I like to while... Oh my god, I think trying to open the back of the throat is making me yawn. I like to while away the hours in the evening reading books as well. But by about 2 in the morning, I'm usually too tired to go on.
He sleeps at 2 in the morning and gets up at 5? Oh my! That means he only has 3 hours of sleep each night.
What's that, dear? Does he take naps? Only 3 hours of sleep each night! Man, that's right, you see. 3 hours of missing time, like I said. It's not much, is it? This really isn't helping.
The key to summation examinations is identifying contradictions between juror statements, Mr. Naruhodo.
And once I find 2 jurors whose statements can't coexist, I need to pit them against each other. Or maybe I pit 1 and 4 against each other. Alright.
If you're able to change the minds of a majority of the jurors, the trial will continue. But conversely, if you are unable to do that, the judge will declare the trial over and move to adjudication.
And we cannot let that happen. Alright. Alright, show me that he's a liar. Alright. I'll show you that he's not a truther.
Objection.
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 1. Eh? What are you yelling about, lad? He's doing the pace. I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement, made by the wife of the owner of Altamont Gas. Altamont. Why Altamont? Altamont. Well, yes. The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact, turns out to be a common thief. So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much. It's true, we don't have evidence as such, just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know. What? You heard me, seeing as his operation has already been compromised. I would suggest that the court hears testimony from our East End branch officer employee over there. I'll do whatever you say, milady. Gasman's honor. Altamont is actually a Holmes reference. It's a surname of a disguise that Holmes uses. Ooh, nice. I like that. Juror number 1, you say you're a man of your word. If I could show that Mr. Shamspeare was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Yes, I did say that. And as a man of honor, I'll hold to it, as I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will. Me?
Oh, well, yes. Now that we've found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further.
Are they all gonna... Alright. Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. So if this means you'll recap a few points, that would send me down to the ground. Oh my god. Oh no, not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leaning. So, Mr. William Shamspeare, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are. Ooh. That was easy. That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Victory!
Yeah. Order! Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the defense's summation examination, the jury's leaning has changed. Now only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord, and order the trial to continue. If I knew that was going to be shorter like that, I could have done it yesterday, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yay!
You have spoilt the bouquet, Mr. Shamspear. What is he doing? The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. 'Tis this Gathman speaketh that which concerns him most, naught but gas, naught but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright a while, but it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul. Oi, what ye say? Do I take it, Mr. Shamspear, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most heartily, my lord. Hast thou forgot? I am as a seraph, an angel. Noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart. Ah, you flowery mouth pompous beanpole, just 'cause I haven't got the evidence yet. Mr. Shamspear, if, in fact, you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. It is my considered opinion that at the present time no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case. However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further. I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas and this case are unrelated. Are we gonna get Mr. Garrett up in here to talk about, the gas and the lights flickering? Because, I don't know. Juror number 4? Yes. Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man had been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, worker? Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Gasman's honor. Hello, Vice. Welcome. Court is in session. Indeed. How are you doing today? Very well, then. We will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamspear, has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord. It will be my pleasure. On the if I may, my lord. Go ahead, madam. This worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you won't mind. Woohoo! Oh yeah, sweet as on it, yeah. Oh my god. Very well, as an exception, I shall honor your request. Does she have a first name? Because if not, I'm naming her Vanessa. Thank you, my lord. You wait till the boss gives you an earful. Oh, it's gonna sting you, mark my words. So, you have both testified before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Altamont. It's Quinby. Oh yeah, he did say Quinby Altamont. Yeah, he did say that. Yes. Is that clear, my good man? Clear as Altamont gas, my lady. It is the clearest in the world. Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Miss Susato?
I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo.
Queen Bee, aha, I see. Queen Bee, she is the Queen Bee, yeah. Hee hee. Proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept threepenny bits, 3 penny. Each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shamspear's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Somehow, he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is? My god, he's actually drinking from the hallowed chalice. Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hallowed chalice. What do you mean by that remark, Lord Van Zietz? Did the mustachioed Nipponese poison the gangling excuse before an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern the court. And yet, now we must listen to this abhorrence. There's the eating. Clearly, what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical Bro, we're trying to establish whether this witness is trustworthy or not. This could turn out to be crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. God damn it, I love that little whoop. Do what you will.
Lord Van Zieks appears to be in a violent mood.
Yes, he does.
An attempt at poisoning and an incidence of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance. But I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. Natsume did say that, Shamspear had to go out for a couple hours in the evening. Like, they met around, like, 6, and Shamspear said he had to go out and do something, and then they would meet at 9. So I don't know what he did in that time. But if it involves gas theft, why would it be somewhere else? You know? The first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. Alright, you're the East End branch investigator.
Hold it!
So does that mean you enter people's houses in order to empty their gas meters?
That I do. I have to try and catch people when they're in, and I ask permission to come inside and do my business.
Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsume's room before as well? As well as that of Mr. Shamspear?
Well, now, interesting you should bring that up, because I couldn't believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how the pair of them survive the winters beyond me, it really is.
Knowing Mr. Natsume, he probably spends all his gas money on books.
And you know what, he's so real for that. And then when he's finished reading them, he probably burns them for warmth. You'll kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meters themselves, Mr. Meterman. Not much to say, really, but as you wish.
Hold it!
Okay.
So all London houses that have a gas supply are fitted with these gas meters, are they?
They're the latest model, the height of technology, developed by our company, Alamont Gas. And anyone who uses our gas will have one of these meters in their property, yes. So if a 3-pence coin gives it 2 hours of gas, most people use about 3 coins in a night. A bit more than that, usually, if they have both gas lights and a gas stove, that is. Sosuke-san doesn't have a fireplace in that room of his, does he? Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating.
Ah, yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Natsume's room, actually.
It's a fire hazard with all those books. And how does the money in the meter get back to you at the gas company? Every 3 days, gasmen like me visit the properties on the gas supply and empty the meter of coins. I must say, the design and manufacture of the new meter cost the company an awful lot of money. But happily, it did put a stop to people not paying their dues, for the most part. Ah, because they have to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right. No coins. Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks. He's been pitching gas off us for ages. And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shamspear's room, I take it? Naturally. We took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. A honeycomb? And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume? No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. Oh my god, just for him, so you could catch him in the act. One with an indestructible lock. A Shamspear special. Oh my god, what an honor to have that named after him. Is this the is this the lock then? Okay. It looks like it's intact and everything, but I don't know. That sounds like would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces.
But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty.
I'll never forget the humiliation. When I opened up the money box and found it bare. You what? I said. You what? And the look on his face. That smarmy smile of his. Was that what we saw the other day? Whenever they were arguing? I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jimmied open anywhere. Not a single sign. What's happening to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Kazuma, give me strength. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it. I still got it. Oh. Right here. No wonder they call you Meter Man. Do they just like rip that off the wall? I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing. Okay, it's just an example, I guess. Huh. Just remember 2 others who grab their arms. You mean like in this game? Let's inspect. The lock. The sham spear stopper. That's a very sturdy looking padlock, isn't it?
And the money box is sealed with beeswax too.
Oh, of course it's beeswax. But in the series, in game 1, I'm trying to think. Okay. I know Francisca sometimes, like, does that. Oh, and Von Karma. Oh, you're saying Phoenix? So if Mr. Sholmes were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately.
Mr. Naruhodo, mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would.
It absolutely is. No, you didn't finish that sentence, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, Francisca, yes, the wah! And the ah!
Well, anyway, it's understandable that the gas company will want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs.
But it does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it? The dials... The... Ooh! Oh, he's been stealing the coins underneath there. Oh, what's...
Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Just here, there's a little hole, do you see?
Goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed.
It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I say.
So, you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamsphere?
Possibly. It seems the people at Altamont Gas must have missed it.
Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through to the inside.
Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through there.
That's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious.
Yeah, clearly Mr. Barrowby Benson did his due diligence. I know it's a drone. A drone. I know that's his name. A tiny hole in the base. Interesting. Alright, is that all I can inspect? The little deposit thingy? Alright, I think that's everything. So... that is where the coins go, I see. So, this wouldn't be the gas on the floor, right? It would be the, is it already, like, in a gaseous state? I don't know if the conversation happened yet. There's a very interesting Easter egg. Ooh, interesting. Alright. I still suspect this could be tea, considering the teapot is right up here. But I'm not sure. It wouldn't be like the gas and it's liquid. It's already in a gaseous state, right? It's not like gasoline where it's like in a liquid form until it's burned. Or is it? I don't know. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Well, good thing we've taken more than a first glance at it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Okay, when it happens? Okay. Though I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter. Oof. Oof. Ma'am,
protection.
Did you really take a good look at this thing?
Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with.
What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing! I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it.
In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box?
Hole? What?
You're right! You're quite right! There's a little hole there! The meters aren't supposed to have that! None of the others do! In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamspeare secretly opened up this hole himself.
Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why? He looks so good that he does! He's so... Yeah! You know what? He is a very pretty boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a farthing through that.
Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design.
What sort of details?
Well, what I'd specifically like to know is... ooh. Okay. Let's start with the coins. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins?
What do you mean?
Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1-penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it?
No, of course not. So, how does the meter know that the coin it's fed is a threepenny bit? Oh, I see what you're getting at now.
The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A threepenny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit.
I see. It's clearly been very well thought out. The Phoenix pose, yeah! The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it's pertinent.
As you wish, my lord.
Alright. I hope that was the right thing, and if nothing else will fit. Well, let's parse around this. I was wondering that too, like, I mean, clearly, this game is meant for, like, an American audience, but, like, you would think it would still, I don't know. Yeah.
Hold it!
But conversely then, it would seem that anything matching a 3-pence coin exactly in terms of diameter and thickness could equally well be used. Would, that be true?
Well, yes, in a way. The weight comes in to a certain extent as well.
We thought of that through anyway. If I find any fake coins inside the coin box when I empty the meter. The contract says the customer has to pay 100,000 times, 100 times them about they diddled as a fine. We live for moments like this, us gasmen do. Live for them! It would seem the gas company has thought of everything. Woohoo! Hurrah for gas, hurrah for cash, Altamont all the way! That's quite enough of that. How big are the threepenny bits?
About 3/4 of an inch across. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Is this 2 centimeters measurement significant? Or perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction we should focus on?
Huh. Can I go back to the dismantle thing? Yeah. Delve deeper, yes. How can the meter be dismantled? Dismantled? Yes, given that there are no signs of it having been forced, I'm wondering if perhaps rather than being broken open, it might have been taken apart.
Well, yes, that does make some sense. The padlocks are made by a first-class locksmith from the finest quality steel, and the meter box itself is made from plate steel as well, welded shut to ensure it can't be opened again. I can assure you, it's quite impossible to dismantle it.
Woohoo! Yeah! Nothing leaks from the Altamont meter. No coins, no gas, no nothing. I see. witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent. Okay, so I guess by repressing that I can swap out whether any of that is important. All joints are welded shut and the lock is made with steel. I'm assuming by pressing again, that would just give me the chance to switch back to the diameter again. I just want to see what all I have. There's... This envelope is non-existent. There's this with the whole puddle there. Soap. Wait, hold on, hold on. Where the fuck did that thing in there go? There's a circular depression on the side, about 2 centimeters across.
Or 3/4 of an inch.
Did he press a coin into the soap? We did find the soap at the scene, didn't we?
Yes. Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window. So we took this one. But I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there.
Oh, is he making, like, manufactured pennies out of... trying to, like, make soap out of this? Is this, like, a mold? Is he making, like, counterfeit pennies and just has this as, like, a mold for him? Alright. Let's repress this and go back to the, statement thing. Has everyone tried? Nah. Well, yeah, they tried, but they've all given up before long. Let's go back to the diameter. After all, if they actually broke the meter, the company would be able to take legal action. Yes, that makes sense. Alright, let's go back to the other thing. Moldy soap defeats the... I don't know. Alright, we'll switch back to the coins. And what was he used? What was the thing we found in there? It wasn't a penny itself. There was a thing in there, and it's just not there anymore. The witness, or the victim is a soap eater. Let me just confirm something here.
Oh, I think I cracked my ass.
Bye.
Hello, Kimberly, welcome! How are you doing? How's it going?
If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as it were a threepenny bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamspeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size as a threepenny bit? What was it? You alright? Glad to hear that. I'm doing alright myself. We are just acing some attorneys. Yeah. And we're gonna eat some soap. The item in question is this. What? Have you been inhaling gas? That's a bar of soap. It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. I also accept any object of the card. Oh my god, stop. Alrighty. His bite marks are perfectly circular. You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Ah! Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right, a depression that's approximately 3/4. Rawr. Or, in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen.
It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it?
Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery. Hello, Goro Akechi. Welcome. Now, to see if it fits. My word, it couldn't be more snug.
Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont Gas Company is being defrauded.
Well, I don't believe it.
That's 3 yeetings already.
So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Do you want to taste it, Van Zeeks?
Yes. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit.
I must concur at least that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape. And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You can make fake coins in no time. Look at that slouch.
This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shakespeare has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link.
And now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense! If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter. And then I'm sure they melt. Ah, that's what the liquid underneath the thing is. Or whatever. They're made with something and then they melt, and is that just like hardened wax on the floor? Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that could cause fake coins to just disappear into thin air, yes?
Exactly. And the meter here gives it away.
What on earth?
There are remnants of the magical method used visible in the gas meter taken from the victim's room.
That is your assertion, counsel. The defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. Alright, oh Jesus. I mean, there's scratches, but we already pointed out the hole. Would it be the hole itself, then? We already did the hole, but would that be it again? And that would be how he's getting them out of there. Maybe he holds a candle underneath them and it melts?
Got it!
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside?
Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air.
Oh, they're like frozen and stuff, and then he like melts them? That's where we found the soap. Ah, I get it. That's right. The answer, of course,
is ice.
Oh my god, ice coins. Oh my god. Classic.
Mr. Shakespeare has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water.
So that's what the puddle underneath the thing is. It's water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water's completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts, turning back into water and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont gas. Just like that, so simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water. That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless? I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence. Photograph, baby. I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof.
She is very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she?
Kazuma, give me strength. Yeah, he doesn't need to do anything to make it true. Yeah, he can easily make anybody look like a fool. Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. What?
Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying you actually do have evidence to support this theory?
I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. Yeah. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. Mm-hmm.
Take that!
This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. And it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspear. What remnants? Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamspear's room. Now look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain. Almost certainly it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter. Ah! If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating his room in all his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful! And there's further evidence, too. Mr. Shamspear slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap broken in half. You're right. It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap was... Yes, exactly. And then he digests the soap and shits out coins that are perfectly shaped to go in the meter. Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not.
He didn't beat about the bush there, did he?
He sounded more British when he gave his objection. I guess. I mean, in the voiceover, he speaks with a British accent in the animated cutscenes. In truth, Mr. Shamspear was found with a fork in his hand. A meal of soap is sounding increasingly likely, Lord. Do you mean to say he was using that fork to... Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap.
Ah! But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well.
Mm-hmm. It was probably frozen solid. And I got what point of the coin-based, what the point of coin-based gas meters. I guess that was a way to, like, charge for, like, as opposed to, like, sending out electric bills and stuff, that was a way to, like, charge for, like, heating and stuff. I don't know. It was just, like, gas on demand, heat on demand. Whoop. So effortless when he does that. Lord Van Zeeks? I was throwing my hand up in despair. And happened to catch my hallowed bottle. Yeah, because this is clearly a gesture of despair. Just a little flick like that. Like, if they know Shamspear's stealing it, they must have known me for how... Yeah. How did that... Yeah, they have to track how much exactly, yeah. I don't know. I do not know. I don't understand how the minds of them work. Huh. I don't know. It happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray forgive my maladroit mistake. What is the meaning of this, Counsel? Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? That the witness is a liar.
That Mr. William Shamspear is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable.
Isn't that the same kind of logic that he tried to use against Gina in the trials that she appeared in? At this point, we didn't know that Magnus was guilty, and we were defending him, and Gina was a witness, and I think the jury was like thinking, she's a thief, why should we believe her? And then again, in case 5, the same thing came up, but... Very well, let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. A liar is the worst thing one could be in this universe. Good thing it's so rare. Yes, so true. I'm so happy everyone's so honest in this universe. What possible difference does that make? Well, we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. Uh-oh. And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gas man's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shakespeare is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Ah! Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. Another death coming up? Yep, there we go. That's not gonna help his back problems at all if he keeps doing that. Oh, da! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond?
Mr. Naruhodo?
What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zeeks is saying? Well, we should raise an objection, right? And then we can think about how it's relevant. Object first, think later. That's the Naruhodo family way, apparently. No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest. What? But counsel, you've successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shakespeare to consume gas. What more is there to discuss? Lord Van Zeeks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption made due to lack of evidence. Ooh, angry man. But the situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the latest witness to take the stand. Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense? When you bring everything we learned so far together, and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider, namely... Oh, Jesus Christ. Maybe whether the poison was in the tea. What if he was making his own poison or something? Where else could it have been? Yeah, there's no tea ring inside Mr. Natsume's cup. So it didn't just sit out like that. What if he eated the ice and there was poison in the ice? I don't know. I'll go with this. This could be very wrong. We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shakespeare was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume, but that's conjecture at best. The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There was no other possibility. What if it was an airborne poison or something? And since there was no trace of tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of poison. What about the ring on the cup? Is that enough to test? As I said, the situation has changed, because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene, and a particular piece of evidence proves it. Aha, yeah, the cup then. A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? I mean, we yoinked the teacup from his hand. We kind of tampered with the crime scene. We did tamper with the crime scene, so, yeah.
Take that!
What exactly is this piece of evidence supposed to— oh. Is that not it? Okay, I guess not. Then you will be digging for a very long time indeed, my learned friend. Huh. Is there something else that could— even at the bottom of the deepest chasm, you will find no sense in— I guess if it's just a tea ring, that's not like a liquid you can test. Sometimes I wish I could disappear down a deep chasm to escape his deep sarcasm. Oh! Alright. The nature of the defendant's tea. Did I examine this? I did, right? Yeah. Evidence from the scene of the crime. It's this. Oh, I thought I thought I accidentally submitted it for a second. The rest cannot be located. Is this not the right question, maybe? This? Is it—
Take that!
oh, I guess not. Huh. Is it possible that I picked a wrong question? Huh. That would have been really funny if, wait, what did I say? I forgot what I said. Oh yeah, if I accidentally submitted this, you know what? Fuck it. It's my badge! Oh god. Okay. I mean, it went along with— I didn't get any points taken off when I said this, so this must be it.
Objection! 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 Take that!
Oh, the soap was poison? Because that was on the plate. Good gracious! The soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice? If this was the original judge, he would say, the soap the victim was eating? I'm glad that Santa has a brain. Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. So did somebody put the strychnine in the water that that was used to freeze or something? I don't know. There was more of them out there. It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, you mean? Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red? No. You mean? That's right. It's obvious to me now. His water was poisoned. The fake coins in the soap were made from the frozen— Ah. Aha! I would remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial.
That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shakespeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I brought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! Never will I touch tea again! Never! Ah, yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing. So on the— oh yeah, couldn't have used water to, Yeah. Was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins. My word! So he drank the tea and then, yeah. There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the— oh yeah, and we can test it. If we thaw it out, we can test it. There's installed in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shakespeare's window. This is why you should demand better infrastructure from your governments. Exactly, otherwise you'll be forced to use tea to make your fake coins. Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if even 1 drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has up until now been mere conjecture.
If there is poison in it, Sosuke's fucked.
By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume—
unless somebody came up to the window, like Mr. Meter Man, put the strychnine in the tea. But why would he do that if he didn't know what he was doing? Although he was inspecting outside his window, outside Shakespeare's window with the bars of soap. He was doing that. Ugh, you smug Nipponese! Bruh.
My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once.
Meter Man, they're not gonna be there, because Meter Man was there to retrieve him.
And the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it to determine whether or not it contains any poison.
He looks like there's a stick up his ass right now. Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend to the scene at once! Yes, my lord, understood. I'm suspecting Busy Bee there.
It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zeeks?
None, my lord.
Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. Oh my god, do we have more? Oh my god, this is our first 2-day trial! Whoa! Yes, my lord. Interesting.
Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow.
Whee!
Because we still don't know what that envelope was used for. Are we gonna meet another witness who actually did it in typical Ace Attorney formula, or is this gonna be different? Because this is our first multi-day trial. Yes, court is adjourned. See you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, his desk hadn't been set up at the time yet, right? I guess. We made it back in one piece. Just, to be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while.
Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There's so many carriages on the streets of London. You were very nearly flattened several times.
Oh, I didn't mean that. Oh my god.
Yes, I know.
Yes, right at the end. Hello, Nearyard. Welcome. We just did the first day of trial. We didn't finish this case. We just did the first day of court. And I think it's interesting that this is the first 2-day trial, or multi-day trial, that we have done in this duology thus far.
Yeah. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you.
Oh, thank you.
And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time...
Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
Let's see if we can find some new clues for court tomorrow.
Yes, let's do that.
Is everything alright?
I suppose. I still can't quite believe it, that's all. That I'm here in England working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less. The truth is, it shouldn't be me. The trial resumes on your birthday! Oh my god! Happy in-game birthday! It should be him standing in my shoes. Kiryu-chan, yeah! It should be Kazuma. It should be it should be Kiryu Kazuma! Man. Kiryu Kazuma, Ace Attorney. I wish I had an Ace Attorney birthday. Does anything in the series happen on October 29th? Because that's my birthday. My birthday's in 11 days. Holy shit. I just realized. Grief!
It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him.
Yes, I mean... Oh, wait a minute! Isn't it about... isn't it on Unnecessary Feelings Day around this time? Isn't it about, like, the 17th or 18th of October? Unnecessary Feelings Day? Are we about at that time? I need to, double check this. Unnecessary Feelings Day. October 20th is Unnecessary Feelings Day. Okay. Okay, 2 days from now is Unnecessary Feelings Day. Okay. So, we didn't miss it. Alright. But yeah, his mission. He had some mission that he had to do. So at this point in Ace Attorney, it's the first day of trial. October 18th is the first day of trial in Turnabout Samurai, right? So today is the day that Old Bag testifies. Today's the day that we learned the name Edgy Boy, and I've called Edgeworth that ever since. That has become my #1 nickname for him. I hate to give credit to Old Bag for that, but like, you know? She kinda gave a good nickname. Checks the Ace Attorney. It starts in 2000 BC? What? Huh? What? Was it for the Kurine? Okay. Once I play this, and once I play Apollo Justice, I need to learn every single piece of the whole timeline. I need to know every detail of everything. I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. Unnecessary Feelings Day? It's the day that Miles Edgeworth says, "Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings," at the end of Turnabout Samurai. And it's on October 20th. Ace Attorney timeline includes the Big Bang. I don't know what the fuck. Why? Why is that so funny to me? I mean, I guess you couldn't have law without the creation of the universe, so...
And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I've no doubt that Kazuma-san would say exactly the same thing if he were here with us.
Aww. Thank you, Susato-san, thank you. It has the Death of Christ. So does this mean all, like, major historical events are canon in the Ace Attorney timeline? Then it's, I mean, aside from whatever historical liberties they've taken for the events that are occurring in London around this time, but, you know. Thank you, Susato-san, thank you. I guess the death of Christ did involve a trial, in a sense, you know, him being on trial by Pontius Pilate and everything. Anyways. Hey. This belonged to my dead boyfriend.
You've been wearing that ever since we arrived in Great Britain, haven't you?
Well, it's what shows that I'm a lawyer, so it seems appropriate. And it's a memory of him.
I'm not sure that it really means much in this country, though, I'm afraid.
But it belonged to him! I wouldn't say that. It might not be official, but it looks official. Often when the police stop me, I just show them this. They leave me alone.
You're stopped by the police? Often?
Well, you know, I'm a suspicious foreigner dressed in all black with a sword at my side.
I do think it's probably the sword that's the main reason.
But it's Kazuma's soul!
Still, it makes me happy to see you wearing it, and the armband.
Yes, I made up my mind that I'll carry them always. The symbol of who I am, and the sword Karuma. Oh, hey, doesn't this look tasty? Everything is the same, but then around 1880 and 1900, everything gets weird. Exactly! People invented flying by then? What do you make of this?
Ah, yes. The soap that we found on the ledge outside Mr. Shamspeare's blocked-up window.
Thank you for saying blocked up instead of the thing you've all otherwise been saying. Since we discovered him poisoned, I've been scared to wash my hands. I keep thinking the foul soap is going to be the end of me.
Well, the soap's bad name was cleared in the end, wasn't it?
I suppose so, but I'm still worried about it. I think it would be safer just to never wash my hands. Ryunosuke.
I think you haven't thought that through. You will wash your hands, Naruhodo-san. You will.
Yes, mother. Alright, let's chat. Kazuma's wishes! My favorite Ace Attorney timeline details Ryunosuke Naruhodo catches the only cold he's had as a— Yeah, I remember you mentioned that when he was like 5 years old or something. I went to the doctor once because I had a cold, and ever since then I've hated doctors. Oh boy. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand.
I know.
Not only that, but then finding out he is actually a barefaced gas thief as well.
Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Sosuke-san poisoning the tea.
Allegedly poisoning the tea. He didn't poison anything. And there's more to this Mr. Shamspeare than we yet know, I'm sure of it.
Mr. Shamspeare certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first.
What's become of him, actually?
I was told he'd be returning to the hospital ward, but he was receiving treatment.
So would he be at the same hospital as Olive Green? Shamspeare doesn't fart, he steals everyone else's, oh my god.
At St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's, as Londoners call it.
We know that place, don't we?
Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken.
Yes, after Sosuke-san stabbed her in the back.
Do be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone.
Perhaps we both owe Sosuke-san an apology. So, we know that Sosuke-san took the tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously...
Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea.
But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamspeare's body?
I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shamspeare's room that will help solve the mystery.
Well, naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. But it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I'm sure. And I can inspect the stage that I didn't get to last time! Yay!
And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar of soap.
Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. Kazuma's wishes. Kazuma Asogi. The best friend I... Why did the music stop? Why? Kazuma Asogi. The best friend I ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. Fuck! Where is it? Hold on, I have a meme that I made. I'm sorry. I made a meme, and I'm going to add it to the meme collection here. When will this song stop hurting? Does this song never stop hurting? The music stopping and then this starting. That just hurts my feelings. Ugh, I'm gonna throw up. It is a very pretty song. I wish I could listen to it without hurting. Maybe one day. We'll see. A new meme for the collection. Just me. So yeah. Wasn't gonna drink tonight, but I'm missing Cosmo Sogi like a mood. That's a mood. That is a mood. It never stops hurting. Shit. I can still picture him now looking so fierce and determined in court. This whole screen is gonna be covered in memes. It's eternal pain. And then after the trial, the crazy idea he came up with. As a stowaway? Yes. You can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. It was just gonna be them. It was gonna be the two of them tearing up the streets of London! Why are you so close, buddy? Whoa, why are you so close to another man? Oh, now we're zooming out. It actually gets worse. I'm gonna throw the fuck up. Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths so that I can occupy you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. That you really ought to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world, the city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, he's just selfish, you know? If you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? They were kissing. Yeah, that's why he was so close. They just did a little smoochy. One day what? Oh, no. Never mind. Is this related to this weird mission that you have?
Rawr.
Naruhodo-san?
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma.
Yes, he's forever in my thoughts, too.
Shut up, Adachi.
Dojima! Dojima wants us to stop thinking about somebody named Kazuma. Why does that feel kind of fitting?
To change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course.
Yes, that's right, but...
Yes?
I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all.
Naruhodo-san? What do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions?
That scared me, not gonna lie. I mean... Was he supposed to, like... yoink somebody? I don't know. And this is his soul. This is his soul! And his headband and...
His katana? I never expected to inherit this sword after Cosma passed away, of course. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it.
And I have it at my side in court. I feel as though it gives me courage.
Yes.
Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Karuma. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan.
Looks so dashing with it like that.
A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder. Its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject... Was there a person you were supposed to slice him to? There's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do? Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. I have to slice Britain in two. You know what? Good for him. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
What did he mean by something very important that I have to do?
I had hoped the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet I've not found a single clue.
I see.
Does it have something to do with the disc? Yeah, with the political correct. Yeah. Does it have something to do with the disc? Anyways. The Solid Snake or Ocelot? I don't actually know anything about the plot of Metal Gear. I will be completely honest. All I know about Solid Snake comes from him being playable in Smash. And then the noise, or the alert noise, the noise. That was a very bad impression, but you know. Alright. Well, let's go downstairs, I guess. Yes, that's the noise. Yeah, that noise. Hi, Sholmesy.
Oh, Runo! I'm Susie! Hooray, you're back! Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am. And you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll send some cups.
Really? Thanks, Iris. But tea in the middle of this case, yeah. What does that felt? Oh, what the is it soap related? Or is it he just... is it just him being stinky? Is he canonically stinky? Especially in this outfit with those exposed pits. There's a joke where if you remove one of the major characters, it creates a time paradox and a fake game over. Oh, yeah, has he not bathed? How often do people bathe in this day and age? Wasn't it like once a week or something? I don't know. Aha, the Wanderers return at last. Where on earth have the pair of you been? We've been in court. Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case. That was today, wasn't it? Hold on. Whoopsies. Still getting... yeah.
I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes.
He's got selective memory. I'm sure you think you did. Well, what? We can laugh about it now. So tell me, how? Yeah, now Naruhodo is gonna be scared of soap now. This whole household is gonna be even stinkier since we're all afraid of soap. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. It's been too long? Is Lord Van Zeek's an acquaintance, Mr. Schultz? Naturally. And he doesn't even have a hat. Well, he wouldn't have a hat in his other one. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still.
Mr. Sholmes? Whatever is that odor?
Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed! That's the scent of victory, my dear fellows! Victory in science!
Oh dear.
Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Hey, this belonged to my dead boyfriend. About this? Shh! What's another word? Yes, I see! This would be— oh yeah, the canine with the long neck. Yeah, that. What happens if I show him the soap? Is he gonna bite? He's not gonna ever eat soap again, he said. I believe you tried to eat some soap once, didn't you? True, yes. I had a theory that it may cleanse the inside of my digestive system, you see. Was it particularly dirty, do you think? Indeed it was, for I had mistakenly imbibed some ink at the time, assuming it to be coffee. Bro. I must cleanse it once, I thought to myself, quite logically, of course. Only you could have an anecdote about swallowing soap. The divorce arc between Sholmes and Van Zeeks? He did try to wash his insides with soap. He's just silly like that. Oh, he hasn't seen this. Does he have anything to say about that or no? I guess not. Dull. If you produce such dull items with such a dull countenance, you must expect a dull response. At the very least, you could do something about your face, my dear fellow. I crave visual stimulation. What, you're calling me ugly? Indeed, that is quite the stimulation I desired. Did he make a goofy face? Did he do the, face? Alright, anyways. Let's snoop again. Is there anything new to examine, or no? Just this enormous machine takes up the entire desk, doesn't it? It's really very imposing.
Ah, Hurley's great analytoscope, yes. It can analyze anything at all, you know.
Is this all the same dialogue as before?
Well, it's his invention, so I don't know how to operate it.
Why don't you get it to analyze its own operation then?
Ooh, Runo, you're razor sharp today, aren't you?
Okay, so it's different. This is Mr. Sholmes' famous violin. The one he found being sold for a song at a pawnbrokery. What was it called? A shoddy something?
Oh yes, this wonderful instrument features in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes.
Yeah, they're both pretty just... Oh my god, what you say? You're good, you're good.
It's a world-famous Stradivarius.
What?
Stradivarius, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you even trying now?
We'll come back to this another time, I think. The organized chaos on the shelves. There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling that the whole lot is just gonna topple at any moment.
It looks as though it might blah, blah, blah.
Strangulation! Stop.
It looks as though it might topple, and yet it doesn't. The epitome of Mr. Sholmes' brilliance.
I don't get it. As it happens, I'm quite well practiced when it comes to stacking shelves myself. Just the other day, the shelf in my office finally gave way under the strain, though.
It looks as though it might topple, and it does. Yes, the epitome of your disarray.
I love her. She's so scoofy. The mantle. I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Although I do yearn for a Japanese kotatsu. Putting your legs under a warm, blanketed table is so comforting.
Do be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't mistakenly put your feet into the fire, will you?
Yes, Mother.
You'd suffer terrible burns, you know.
I worry sometimes about how Susato-san sees me. He's curious how this enormous metal chest is being used as a coffee. Oh yeah, at this point he doesn't know what's in the chest. I'm even more curious to think that I. Oh, he does. Never mind. I see.
You mustn't look in there, Runo. These notes are a secret between Daddy and me.
And Mr. Sholmes isn't somehow in on the secret?
Hurley tends to forget, you see. As soon as he solved a case, in fact.
Is this the same thing? Yeah.
When he read one of my manuscripts.
I need to speak.
Once, when he read one of my manuscripts, we had a terrible argument about it. Never have I solved such a case, he said. He was absolutely adamant.
Sometimes I wonder if he's from another planet, don't you? Susada's very considerate and worries for her cousin. I see her as like a little sister, kinda. Look at all these, cause they're cousins. They're both Naruhodos. They're cousins, yeah. Look at these mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases. You know, Mrs. Susada's eyes still sparkle every time she lays eyes on them. Don't let them in on the secret. Yeah, you're cousins. Her real name is Ryutaro.
But yours don't, do they, Bruno?
Yes. Well, I have read the event. By order of Mrs. Sato. Makes sense. But the trouble is, having seen the real thing in action, somehow the stories don't quite ring true for me. She takes creative liberties, yeah?
Well, he does solve the cases in the end.
I suppose so. Perhaps there's more to the great detective than meets the eye.
Oh, look at her typing! Aw, she's such a hard worker!
Ah, yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? So, what's on the blackboard today? Buck up, Runo. What is this?
Oh, I'm just playing around with ideas for the title of next month's installment. Another idea I had was the barrel coronet. I'm really torn about which one to use. What do you think, Runo?
Anything but buck up, Runo, obviously.
I suppose you're right. I tell you what, I'll surprise you with it. You'll have to wait until next month and see.
So many sleepless nights.
Look at her!
Are you gonna eat any of this? Barrel Coronet is a real case. A real, almost called it a Sholmes title. A real Sherlock title. Nice! That's a charming little white shelf, and both charming little bottles too.
Oh yes, but don't touch any of those.
Hey?
They might explode.
Oh yeah, she said this before, yeah. A charming shelf full of charming bottles, full of charring ingredients.
You know, Hurley mistakenly drank from one of them the other day.
What?
And how? I think he was lucky though. He hasn't exploded yet. Chemistry can be a very hazardous occupation.
It's living with Mr. Sholmes that's the hazardous occupation, if you ask me. Iris? She's in the zone. That's incredible concentration, that is.
I find it quite remarkable how she can focus on so many different things at once.
Perhaps I should try drinking more herbal tea.
The blend there from the right would be good for you, Bruno.
Iris? This girl's destined for great things, I'm sure. Oh, I never inspected the lamp before. Oh, it's the typewriter, not the lamp, I see.
To think that every single one of the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes blossomed from this very machine.
I like her a little too much, yeah. Except my mind is always all over the place and I never get anything done.
Oh, it's such a dreamy thought.
I actually had a go on it the other day. The metal bars that move when you hit the keys got all tangled up somehow, and that made Iris angry. And then the whole thing about the third T on the right, yeah.
Mr. Naruhodo, you're ruining my dreamy thoughts. Please don't do that again.
Ugh. Now I made Susato-san angry as well. Alright, that's...
Oh, the tea set.
It always strikes me how pretty and neatly arranged this tea set is.
It's my favorite one. In fact, I think it's high time for afternoon tea. Wait there. I'll fetch the special blend I've prepared for today.
Oh, Iris, you do love your tea, don't you? She looks so happy at the prospect.
And after you've drunk it, I'll collect some experimental data, if that's all right.
Just what is she about to make me drink? I think that's all the usual things I inspect. Alright, now let's talk to Sholmesy. Yeah, what's your history with him? The music stops. Lord Barak Van Zeeks. Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet. He has. Is that the right word, sobriquet? I don't know. The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how exactly? By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or, quite out of the blue, being set upon by a highwayman. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Moustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring.
If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zeek's own hand.
As it happens, Mrs. Sato, that is quite impossible.
Oh, why?
Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, when these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi.
Really?
And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in this country, Mr. Naruhodo. So would he have originally gone up against Kazuma, then? So I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. And really did end bitterly indeed. Yeah, I guess we'll find out eventually, but Kazuma may have gone down this whole same trial path. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again.
Oh, Runo. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky, or incredibly unlikable.
I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people. Yeah. At the end of the first game, he said something about being betrayed by one Japanese person, and then suddenly he hates all of them because he's just awful. Oh yeah, what's that stench? What is that indescribably foul smell? Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. What is that? Oh, is it another one of his weird things? It is, of course, my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. What the fuck?
Oh my!
There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavor. Yeah. I mean, I guess in this case it does kind of come across as like, I mean, it is racist, but well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris! Oh, is he gonna test her tea?
At the ready, Hurley.
Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? What if they find the poison in the frozen thingies in the class. Have a good class, Ash. I wonder if they test the fake coins for the frozen tea for poison and find it. But then we do this test on it and find it's not actually poison.
And what a foul odor it's giving off.
Indeed, the blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea it is. It would appear that this cup was particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious, but what do you do with that black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? Are you sure that you don't want to drink it, buddy? I mean, you probably did already drink this once, just for the experience.
There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes.
Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. The point is, we are entering a new era of science. In the world of criminal investigation also.
Yes, forensic science! Oh, these are such exciting times!
I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Sherlock-Holmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. This little tea incident was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. I'm a Sky! With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese, as well as Miss Susato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Ziek seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed. It is an interesting observation.
Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes?
It was about 10 years ago that Barak Van Zieks chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan.
No.
What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair.
Oh, but...
The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due time, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Alright. So, your T-test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is. An essential tool in the cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints. Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels there. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partially why I undertake research in this field myself, of course.
Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes?
There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation.
Brilliant, Mr.
So, like reverse fingerprinting? As long as it doesn't completely turn everything like that. Okay. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues.
That's the spirit, Runo. See you later.
Oh, that's so cute! Wait, how did I never notice that was the same gesture they were doing? Aww. No, Mr. Sholmes, we were thinking you'd come with us. Yes, of course! You just said so a moment ago! You said we'd witness your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably, maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Runo. Bye, Susie.
Alrighty. Let's go to the scene of the crime. Hey, Tobesy. Tobster. Hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually.
The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know the score. Yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window. Did you find it? With the tea in it? Yeah, we found it all right. And there was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it! It's with the identification section at the yard now. They're looking into it. The results should be available later today.
That's wonderful news. Thank you.
Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here. I love that he just popped into existence like that. Can we actually, like, inspect and everything? If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. That really is a jump scare! Man. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh.
That's true, but if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change.
Yeah, good timing is improving, yes. London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Susato-san and I are going to make it to spring.
That's true. We don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove.
Look how dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter there.
Yes, from all the water dripping out after the ice coins melted, as you established in court this morning.
It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it?
Mr. Shakespeare must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose.
I don't trust Sholmes with the gas stove. Me neither. Nope. That can only go wrong. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. First, I gotta look at the stage. I didn't get a good look at the stage the other time we came here.
This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it?
Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances? I don't trust him with anything fire-related. Me neither.
Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office.
What?
Then you could practice your art every single day.
I'll think about it if you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge. Yes!
Well, if that would help you achieve your goal.
Oh, she really is the best judicial assistant.
So it turns out that Mr. Shakespeare wasn't eating the soap at all.
That's right. The mystery of why he had it on a plate whilst holding a fork in his hand is solved.
Yes, to prize his latest ice coin out of its mold.
What is that thudding from the attic? Naruhodo's practicing. Yes, it's the BAM! He's practicing his desk slams.
And in the process, he accidentally broke the bar of soap in two.
It certainly was hard to imagine, let alone deduce. The soap, one teacup, the ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on the ill-fated night.
During their heated literary debate, yes.
Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? It sounds like it was quite a discussion.
Now I think of it, I'm sure that the two lovers in that play ended their lives with poison.
Well, Romeo at least. That's fiction, Mrs. Sato. Let's hope it stays that way. The sun never shines in this room, thanks to that depressing bricked-up window, and Ryunosuke has to say it, of course.
Yet, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you?
That sounds like a very wise life lesson, Mr. Sato. With enough determination, you can replace a brick with soap.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo.
Hey, Tobster. Let's chat.
Are you looking for new clues, Inspector?
On Lord Van Zeek's orders, yes. Don't come back till you've got something for me, he says.
Oh dear, poor you.
Yeah, or me, because we've already searched every bleeding nook and cranny in this place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for warm chips is all I can say. Well, at least he's honest. Alright, Sholmesy, is it forensic science time? Oh, is this what's this panel doing? I didn't notice this panel being, like, loose before. Huh, I can't click on it, but maybe I can't do it just yet because it's gonna be relevant later on. All right, Sholmesy. Why are you staring so intently at the mannequin's boobs? Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed! Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Boy, what are you doing here, Sholmes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems.
Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents and actions as you promised?
With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. I just noticed his mask has the goggles. Yeah, they is the same design as on the goggles. What's all this? I love it. All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Sherlock Sholmes' sensational skin print seeker gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample from Mr. Shakespeare's cup? Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. So fingerprinting but using like skin oil rather than fingerprints. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Aha! Here, try them on. Ooh, it's blue. Now spray the chemical indicator about, and all will be revealed. How do I do that? I'm pretty sure everything's gonna have his prints on it, you know, because I guess only the relevant things are gonna light up, yeah. It's like fog. A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas is the most effective way to cover a large area. Aha, I see. Fingerprints or handprints. That was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst I was developing this area. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. I guess maybe this is also just like recent things. Alright. I wanna test this. Yep. The loose floorboard. Ah, yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints.
Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot?
Ooh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here?
There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is there?
I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over.
I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes.
It's a loose floorboard. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Anything else noteworthy? Was it... Oh! What the hell? There are dozens of handprints here. So there are, a great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact.
It sends a chill down my spine.
Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all.
Without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such a close quarters, I feel.
Oh, very true, Mr. Sato.
It's a bit of a mystery, then.
Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over the room, didn't we?
We did. But there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say.
The handprints on the floor there. And on the wall by the picture, you mean?
Yes. And I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment.
She's gonna yoink the floorboard off. What is it, Mrs. Sato? You don't want Tobster to see you, do you?
Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out.
One of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Mr. Sato. So, what do we have in here? Oi! What are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson! Stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there! Alright. Like a wild animal, buddy. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig in your portion of chips whilst we dig around under the floor here. The fancy talk's putting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need. It's the telltale heart. Oh my god. Wait, whoa. What is this? A secret hiding place under the floor. What a find.
It's not a hiding place you can make use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw tatami mat.
No, I know, but I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there too. Ooh, I see there's a patched up hole there, but but that's not where the handprints were.
I'll investigate at once.
Look at him all baby girl like this, bent over like that.
There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall.
How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints?
I really can't think why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that.
There you are, a print for you. Alright. Oh, thank you very much. His invention can make prints too? Now then. I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know.
So am I.
Hi, buddy. Did you find anything? I'll have to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson! Really, it's been too long! My god. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there. Seeing as we're such good friends. So that's how far he slouches over when he does that sprite. Wow. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. Oh my god. He's like, well, I tried. A dismal failure. You barely tried. I killed a note was under that floorboard. A dismal failure. Relation to the envelope, mayhaps? Right? Fair's fair. You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Wait, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know? Okay. Looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. How terrible. It made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first.
Oh my goodness! He committed a capital offense?
Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work, into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he knocked off was about worth £1,000. Jewelry and the like, but he'd hidden it somewhere, no one knows where, and now he's dead. Is that a past life? Papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell, or some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Is this him, maybe? Selden? Or what was his name? Why such an article would be so capitally ensconced under the floor? Did he fake his death and re-establish his life here? I suppose now that you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. How long has, Shamspear been living here? Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got on Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. Is this him? That's the guy that was in the photograph by Olive. Is this man like Olive's brother or something? Hello, Jesse, how's it going? Chicken noodle soup, nice, that sounds good. So, this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Aww. Art man, oh, his chin is too round. But this is definitely the same guy in the picture in, Olive's room. That's not juror number 3, right? I mean, the bangs are slightly different, but... would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. I mean, he does kind of look like juror number 3, like the bangs. I don't know.
And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garrett, the landlord, of course.
Or who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garredeb's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You can take that print if you like. Really? We can presume, therefore, that he already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. Now I want fish and chips too. Nice. A dismal failure! Oh no, another one! I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamspeare himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garredeb is rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. The past ledger, or a lodger, I guess, that did the portrait of Mr. Garredeb that's hanging in his room, mayhaps? That's what I'm thinking. Now this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you'd find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shamspeare, give us a clue, man!
You didn't even have a chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box.
Yes, thin air, it's empty, rather like how I feel inside. Same, bestie. Well, I want to inspect all those pieces of evidence now. Hi, Wagga, hi! Hi, baby! Hello!
Oh, look! It's that lovely little kitty cat. What was its name?
It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. I wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. Aww.
Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I brought for you from the cat's meat man.
Oh, baby! Had pats for the baby. Hey, baby! Oh, he's such a good boy! He's such a good kitty! He sleeps! Oh!
He couldn't be happier now, look.
I just hope he can bring some happiness to his owner, too. Aw, baby. Hi, baby! Oh, he's making biscuits! Look at him! Hi, baby! Hi, baby! Hi! The little bean! He stretches! That was a cheeky little meow, Wagahai. Aww. But he's so adorable! I could sit and watch him forever. Me too. I think I may not appreciate that after a while, and we have an investigation to get back to. Aw, you're such a good kitty. Aw. Is that everything I can investigate here? Oh, I already looked at the costumes. The fool! Alright, let's look a little more closely at these, things. Oh, yeah, we got the prints there. Oh, we don't have the box in evidence yet. It's not the Hierophant, he's the fool! Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester's Strangeways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He'd been suffering with fever since the end of October.
Alerted by the shots of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Okay. And then we got this. Alrighty. I think we should go to the hospital.
What do you suppose is happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance.
Yes, I hear angry voices.
Oh, stop! Are you being mean to her?
Be not angry, O ample lady! Verily thou art mistaken.
Mistaken my foot! You were looking at my painting!
The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed, the poison that mustached villain giveth me. Forgive me, lady.
I wish that you died from that
rogue! God a mercy, ample lady, but thou ceased. I have vigor still. Behold my Shakespeare dance! Look at the Shakespeare dance, baby!
This looks rather ominous, doesn't it?
What is going on? Oh, hello! 'Tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shakespeare? Marry, I do believe I am returned unto another ward.
He was looking, that's what he was doing, looking at my terrible work.
Eastern fellow, so darkly clad. Well, I am in a different outfit now, but faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Well, thank you. But that's new. That doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? That seems like he's breaking character. Did he break character for a second? He got some eye bags. Didn't really speak in a Shakespearean way there. Huh, he broke character. Anon, exeunt. I hope a bear follows you. Mr. Shakespeare might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down. You like pinning men down, huh, Ryunosuke?
I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person.
Miss Green, is everything all right?
Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me.
Oh, it's okay.
They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now.
So that one... I see. I'm sorry.
We're delighted that you will soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green.
Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it.
Aw.
She's a cutie patootie.
Let's examine everything. First... Wait, they're already at a check mark, so... Okay, Ryunosuke, you're really not gonna notice anything different here. The fact that it was already checked off and we didn't get any new dialogue is interesting. Are you that goofy, Ryunosuke? I guess there's nothing new to find here. I mean, I could talk to her some more, I guess. And the key. Are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green?
I am. Thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me.
Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it?
As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. And then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I'll look back on this fondly.
Alright, ma'am.
Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. Alright, I guess I need to go elsewhere. Briar Road. Anything out here? I see the soaps. Huh. Probably nothing. Yeah. Snowman! Yeah. The Garadeb's room? Does Mr. Garadeb have anything to say? Yeah, this portrait, he said like an art lodger painted this. So I'm thinking it's the guy in the picture who may be related to Olive Green.
Mr. Garadeb appears to be out.
Okay, so I guess I have to go to prison then. Mr. Natsume. Mr. Natsume. Hi, bestie. How ya doing? Aw, he looks so he's such a wet cat of a man. I love pathetic men.
Oh, Mr. Natsume is back.
So he is. Mr. Natsume, hello! Oh my god, I just noticed Susato has her, I guess, I'm assuming that's her little mascot, like, on her belt. It's like a little bunny or something. I am a cat. That's your book! Sorry? I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or Herlock Sholmes. I don't know about courts, or trials, or Old Baileys. I am a cat. That's what I am. Just a cat.
Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality.
Trying to? He already has, completely. So, what is your name then? As yet, I have no name. Is that actual text from the book?
He has returned to Kitty, yeah! Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality.
Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? Aww. He literally thinks he's a pathetic wet cat. I am not a cat. Physically, at least. Mentally, or like, just the everything else about you, on all levels except physical, you are a cat. A pathetic wet one.
It worked! He's back in the real world.
What's going to become of me? No! Nobody answer that! It's obvious! My accursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate.
Mr. Natsume, no! This morning's proceedings in court prove that there's hope.
Yes, Luckham student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant, but the Reaper is omnipresent in court, in my lodgings, here, there, everywhere. Soup complete, nice. What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss. Oh, yes, we must. Hey, this belonged to my dead boyfriend. Have I shown you this before, Mr. Natsume? Oh, yes, the sweet, sweet... Oh, yeah, this is the same thing as before, yeah. Aww. Let's talk. Van Zeeks is everywhere. Oh, no! In my whole life, have I ever been so moved as I was today? No! Of course. If I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two occasions that moved me more. But if I just block those out, then today, being in that courtroom was... It was the most moving experience of my life, Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Too kind.
Scotland Yard found the remaining tea, just as we deduced, and are analyzing it as we speak.
There's nothing wrong with that tea! They won't find a drop of poison in it! That's a... solemn, sworn, Soseki certainty! Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Oh yes, most definitely! Remember, drink tea while it's hot! We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies!
And at the time, you were both completely fine.
As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shakespeare then engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match. Esquire showed grammatically, yeah. No, yeah. Oh, yeah, that is a title, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim, then. That rotten Shakespeare, what have I ever done to him? You thought Juliet was stronger, and to him that was the gravest sin you've ever committed. You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything at all! Right. But what I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner.
Let you know what, Mr. Natsume?
You dare disagree with me? About the soap, of course. What else?
Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend?
Of course I am. If I had money, I wouldn't have chosen to live in a cursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Oh yes, you said it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly! Especially the room that I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who lived there. Capital offender? Was that this guy's name? Selden? Didn't he claim that the man died in the building? But according to this paper, he died in prison. Might I ask you, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, that the next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soaps? Okay. What if I show him this? Oh, first let's show him the soap. Does he have anything to say about this or no?
Mr. Natsume, what do you know about this?
Ah, there it is! That lathery lowlife that took my neighbor's life and sent me sliding into the depths of despair! Slippery, sickly, psychotic saboteur! You've really gone off soap, haven't you? Man, everybody's gonna be so stinky by the end of this case. I've made up my mind. The next time someone gives me soap as a present, it's friendship finished firmly forever! My god.
I don't know that we can blame soap for everything that's happened, Mr. Natsume.
Alright, but also... What's this? Yeah, he does love his alliteration. He is a writer, after all. It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. Ah, so he knew, did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. A convicted killer, and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings! What? He's already taken one young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another, a miserable mustached, maligned Japanese man! Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit. Is this why this case is such a big deal in the future? The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now, and at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garadep's house. What? He lived where you do now? That's right, yes. Exactly where I live now, in my very room.
Oh my! Your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense?
But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse.
What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume?
It's already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison, a man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. Is it the artist? Was it the artist? Who was found dead in mysterious circumstances, and the room was locked from the inside. Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So that's the convict's curse, is it? Doubting his writerness makes him more inclined to alliterate. Well, that was the start of it.
Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume?
The official cause of death was asphyxia.
When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. I only found that out after I'd signed the lease. When Mr. Garrett came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably been too scared to take the room.
Landlord's lease, luckily legal!
Lucky for Mr. Garrett, maybe, but not so lucky. Is that why he keeps an eye on the gas, Mr. Garrett? Because he doesn't want another incident like this happening? And now you believe this curse is affecting you?
Eating too many beans, eating too much soap. Oh, the gas, I see. I don't know, every time we talk about... I guess eating soap is on the brain.
At first, I just felt as though I was being watched. All the time. And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. And the room is as cold as ice!
Soap eating, brainwashing. Oh my god, you're so right. It's not gut washing as Sholmes theorized, but brainwashing.
But why is your room so cold?
The gas goes out, I guess?
London winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas.
But that's terrible. That's exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death.
And then there's what happened to Mr. Shanspeare last night when he was mysteriously poisoned.
There's clearly more to that incident that can be explained by a curse, though.
Whatever can be the cause of all those strange happenings in Mr. Garrett's rooms?
Alright, does he know anything about this? No? It's nothing much, but...
Ah! It's been too long since I've been offered a present but that delightfully humble etiquette of our homeland.
What?
You're too kind. I accept it gladly.
Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you, actually. Aww. Sad. Would he know anything about these prints? Okay, no. The teacups? No. Is that all I can get out of him, I guess? Alrighty. What happens if we go back to here? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe back to... here? I don't know. Do I still need to show him things? Do I need to keep showing him things, mayhap? I already talked with him about everything. The book receipt? Mr. Natsume, about this receipt. It occurs to me now. That was those confounded books that saw me arrested the first time, too. Oh, yes, I suppose that's true. After I spent my precious pennies on them, that's the thanks I get. Now I don't know when I'll read them. Aww. No, not when... If! I may very well have to hate them too much to even open the covers! Aww.
I don't know that we can blame the books for everything that's happened, Mr. Natsume.
My map? Okay. Did you see him, No. Okay. Alright, yeah. I think that's all here. I already showed him this, and that's how we unlocked the, other thing. Yeah. We already showed him that, and then... Okay, now where to? Oh, back to the Gyarados room, mayhaps. There we go. I forgot this place. There we go. Hello. Ah, you're here now, Mr. Gyarados. Right belly business it is for me, you know. Getting out and about. Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance? Naturally, fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. Not a trial to miss. The fate of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes. Of course, the plate has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings or some such. Huh. So he knows. Makes you wonder what the blazes is going on, don't you know?
Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago, you were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened?
Stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business. I see. Is his wife in jail, I guess? The soup is good! Nice! Good soup. So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? Anything new to inspect, or no? Oh, books!
Oh, a copy of Ranced Magazine! The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes is being read all over London. Isn't it wonderful?
Naturally, one asks oneself if such a singular detective could really exist. He's in the room right now, buddy. But having met the chap, it's undeniable. He is most certainly singular. Singularly dangerous. He's right here. That's genuine public opinion for you, Mrs. Sato. Perhaps it should be reflected in the stories.
Make no mistake, Mr. Naruhodo, I intend to snuff out the sort of public opinion we just heard personally.
Oh no, she's getting into fan wars now, oh no! Alright, there's nothing else new, right? Okay, let's talk. Or, no. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yeah, she's gonna become a character in her own novels, yeah. Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum feathers of late. Thanks to that bally curse. The convict's curse, you mean? Ah, heard the stories, have you? Rotten scoundrel was arrested here, then the next chap in the room goes and kills over. Then there was that woman who dropped dead just outside on the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. Am I next, eh? Well, can't help but get the collywobbles, can you?
When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green?
Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspear, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still. Yes, well, so is that blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history. Why? It sounds like the lap of luxury. You're not most people, though, buddy. Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either. But you do look out for your tenants, don't you? Mm-hmm. About watching the gas, never hurts to keep an eye on things, in case there are any mishaps or such like. I think you've had your mishap already, sir! Is that a joke, buddy? I mean, what punchline is that? Shitting is illegal in the Gyarados house, yep. Heaven forgive me. The words just came to my lips. Some fishy already... Wait, did I click the same thing? There's no need for that, Mr. Gyarados. Oh, he's just saying the same thing.
That's right. Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy.
Don't piss, girl! Man, it's Urinetown. He is undeniably peculiar, however. Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away? Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were. I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually. Forgive me, Constable, I had no way of knowing at the time. I promise I'll shit legally next time.
So how long has Mr. Shamspear been lodging under your roof?
That failed actor chap? Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been 3 months now. He's gotta be Selden then. Oh, I don't know, it's just a theory.
A game theory!
And to what do you to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garadeb, if I might ask? It is a word for causing a vague true, yeah. Yeah, I just misread a word. Well, it was that Selden scoundrel as it happens. The convict. Do Selden and Shamspear have some kind of connection? The convict chap, Selden. Passed away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see? Some malady or other.
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time.
Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedy end showed his face. The actor fellow. Interesting. Yeah, oh my god, yeah, bro has like a crescent moon face, he does, with the hair and everything. Yes, I remember it quite distinctly. 'Tis small, this world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspear, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor offered erewhile for rent. Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. Already have lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant, though. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee. Those curls must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor is taken. It's ground floor or nothing. Very well, we have an accord. So he was on the ground floor original? A Shamspear dance to celebrate! Oh my god, what a silly man. Next to the McDonald's mascot. What I heard in court today sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And he was 3 months in arrears with the rent too. Yes, the fellow was a bally player, all right. Thank you for your candor, Mr. Garadeb. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Is it deduction time? Shorm's doing that in this outfit? Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. Nya. Whoops, what did I just do? OBS. What a silly man. Who's winning the silly off between Sholmes and Shamspear? Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. I wished to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a term for the literature too, you know. And wasn't Renosuke an English student? Did he study literature? Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then. Hey. Whoops. This belonged to my dead boyfriend. Oh, he doesn't care. Or he can't, yeah. Oh yeah, this, yeah. Do you want to eat this? No. You're not a soap eater. Okay, the article is nothing. What about the picture then, of the other guy? Mr. Garadeb, could I ask you to look at this photograph? Is that your son who's with you there? No, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross. A street photographer happened to be passing by, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really. Aww.
Was he, by any chance, the lodger before Mr. Natsume?
Yes, that's right. Ah, the young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Moustache was waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap. Do you mind telling us a little more about him? Or that was him saying that. Yes, Duncan Ross. Young chap was attending art school. Had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago, after that criminal Seldom was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them. A history of cheap rent, maybe, yes. Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. Hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers were up to at the time. So sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. Smell of gas that alerted me it was. Ah, yes, synonymous with the smell of death. Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. Once we got inside, we all bally collapsed. Because of the gas? Yes, room was full of it. No air at all. Stone must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death. Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because of the gas pipes were so old and all that. Can't tell you how much it sent me back to have the lot replaced all over the house. But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing, that the stove goes out at night whilst he's asleep in bed. Well, that's the bally curse! The convict's curse! I've done my duty as a landlord now! Man.
Interesting. Interesting.
He fed the victim beans, oh my god. Ah, that reminds me, actually. Yes? About a young Duncan, the night before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady, Olive.
A love letter, you mean?
Yes, where did I put it now? Here it is! Left it on my desk. No, excuse me, let me see, what does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence?
Olive's letter! Olive letter! Olive letter! My dear Mrs. Sato, that is precisely why I prefaced my reading with, if you'll excuse me. Oh my god.
I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes, no!
Sadly, he didn't address it though, so I've no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really. I see. That's going to play on my mind.
But really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case.
I don't know about that one.
I think we should leave well alone.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Indeed, the intended recipient's address is missing. However, there is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Mr. Sholmes, please. I've already had to chastise you about this once.
My undying love to you, my colorful darling, Olive Green. Oh, Olive Green? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside the house, the victim of the last case Sosuke-san was in court for, who regained consciousness only yesterday. Is it just chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? I don't know about that.
Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean?
Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you'll see, Mrs. Sato. Man, call me dog, 'cause I love to snoop. Okay. If I examine this, will you say it was painted by that guy? Nah. I'm assuming it was Duncan that painted that, but let's go talk to Olive. I'd be lying if I did. Oh! Is she gone?
Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last.
This is good news, but hopefully just before she leaves.
Ah!
What is it? Aww. Miss Green? Ma'am? She clearly just hid something behind her back.
One moment. I'll be with you in a jiffy.
What are you doing, ma'am?
Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing here? The doctor said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Oh, nothing really.
Mourning her dead boyfriend.
I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all.
Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright.
I don't really have anything else to tell you.
I don't know. Is Sean's here? Are we gonna have a deduction? What's the deal with this? This is the bottle that Miss Green was just about to drink from.
Yes. She looked rather preoccupied, didn't she?
I hope she wasn't trying to off herself. Perhaps it's very bitter. I can't stand bitter medicine.
I suppose that could be it.
Man, everyone's drinking poison! Whenever a doctor prescribes me medicine for a number of days, I always take Ryanosuke.
Oh no!
Well, if you have to take something you don't like, it's best to get it all out of the way in one go, isn't it? Ryanosuke, how are you not dead?
Oh dear. And I thought it was Miss Green I should be worried about at the moment.
Oh. Oh, oops, it's gonna fall from the table. Uh-oh. This is the card that Miss Green was looking at so intently before, is it?
Mr. Naruhodo, we shouldn't be peeking at a young woman's private effects.
Right, I should say peeking for gentlemen's effects only.
You mustn't do that either.
Maybe you, Miss Sushado, shouldn't be peeking into a young man's mind either, You say everything out loud, my dude. We know that guy now. There's nothing new to inspect, just the bottle and everything. Gentleman, yeah, what do you mean by that, bestie? Hey, we have something in common, Olive. We both have dead boyfriends. Sorry. Miss Green, about this.
Could you just hold that there for a moment? Don't move.
Sorry?
No, the aesthetics are all wrong.
Oh my god, she's having a Yusuke moment! Aww. What about this? Do you like to eat soap? Miss Green, about this soap?
I think I know what that is. It's that soap-shaped chocolate, isn't it?
She's gonna eat it! This is just normal soap? Well, normal poor quality soap?
Oh, that was lucky. At least it wasn't a trick this time. Have people tricked her into eating soap before?
Aww. Oh my god, does she have like a hairpin or something?
A trick? I fell for it only the other day. It's soap-shaped chocolate, they said. Just one bite and I was foaming at the mouth. I passed out, it tasted so awful.
Aww. She eated soap! Man, what is it about people recently that makes— Yeah! Yeah, why? Alright, well... Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you? Maybe I should have talked to her. I don't know. Whoa! Whoa! Oh no! She's been drinking Danganronpa blood! No! If that's strychnine, I'm gonna be very sad.
Oh no, Miss Green, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's shocking to be presented with a picture of your dead boyfriend out of nowhere. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you like that. Show him a picture of Kazuma to return the favor.
No, it's alright. I just wasn't expecting it. But how do you know about Duncan?
Well, you have a picture of him there, and...
Mr. Ross, I've been waiting
Jesus! Oh my god! Stop! I need to be wary every time I mention Kazuma now. Jesus Christ.
Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room.
Mr. Ross had been— Jesus! Is he gonna come back from the dead now? 3 months later? Or 1 week later, I guess.
It was a very personal letter to you.
Had to, okay.
It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan, a year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And two of you became romantically involved? Yes, that's right. We
were very much in love. They were engaged to be married, actually. That's why he decided to move into a cheaper room, to save money for the wedding.
And that's what led him to Mr. Garadeb's.
Yes. He told me he found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then, 1 month ago, that's when it happened. We're so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad.
I was starting to think that's just her look. Well, dude. But now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. Yeah. Can I examine the blood on the floor? The bottle fell off before when Miss Green collapsed. That was quite an earthquake.
Whatever was in the bottle.
Honey, maybe? Or treacle? Or Danganronpa blood.
Mr. Naruhodo, you've been having a lot of very mean thoughts during this exchange. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, get him, Susato! Yeah, come on! It's just because she's larger like that? Bruh. Sorry. Dude. Get his ass, Susato. It's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green.
Oh yes, I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat.
She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure. Did that key belong to Duncan? I don't know.
I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... Would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on... Mr. Naruhodo! Deduction time, isn't it? It's deduction time, baby. Surely you were not about to leave? That's quite out of the question. What? Mr. Sholmes, I didn't realize you were here. What, do you want to eat this? But of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows as always. Well, make your presence known next time.
Mr. Sholmes, what's this about?
I just noticed, the rat. The rat is just, did he lick this stuff and then die? Ah! No! What if that was her pet? Why do you detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? Oh, no, There's a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Miss... Was she gonna take her own life? All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look and you cannot fail to see.
You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo. I know you can.
Alright, Sholmesy, where are ya? Or this. Oh, that mouse seems to be dead. I didn't notice there before, did you?
I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle.
Ah, rip little mousey.
But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived.
She was. You don't think... I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. We just saved her life. Oh. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before is spilt out on the floor. And the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison.
Don't worry. I'll attend to the mouse presently.
Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? To take your own life? Aww. Once we've left, you would put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison?
No! Miss Green, please! Please talk to us!
Oh. 10 seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful I wouldn't call this conversation delightful, my dude. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. I just want her to be okay. She's so hard on herself all the time and has been through so much in the span of like a month.
Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted.
Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? If it's strychnine... Although, you would think that she would pick like an instant... I don't know.
Well, with this being a hospital and all, when the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking.
It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains. Yeah, that is instant true, yeah, so it wouldn't be that.
I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, sweetie. Oh, please, Miss Green, don't talk of such things.
Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison.
Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no! Oh, it's all my fault! What have I done? No, it's okay!
I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection?
No, none.
Is there anything else we can do here? I don't want to leave her alone, I'm scared. Will this... Oh, nothing with that. I guess that's everything. We need to examine it. Sholmes did, yeah. Is it time to move on? We've asked everything we need to? Okay, probably not if she says that. Is there any piece of evidence we should show her? I mean, we showed her this already. And then nothing new. Alright. Do you know about this? Is there something else I should examine? Can I look at the picture now? I can. And the letter, too. Mr. Duncan Ross. Who would have ever thought he was engaged to be married to Miss Green?
To lose one's beloved fiancé must be painful enough.
But then Miss Green suffered that awful injury and outside her fiancé's former lodgings, too.
Fate can be very cruel sometimes.
And the letter, yeah. Was that her note? Definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere.
Yes. It may well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believed was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it. Neither the sender's name or address.
It matches the envelope, doesn't it? So was she in there? Unless... Well, let's see. That's definitely the piece of this envelope.
It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance.
Wait a minute. 17th of this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road.
And 5 p.m.
Is precisely the time when the incident occurred. So are the Gyarados actually innocent in this? The Slug and Salad, yes, a pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road being the street that Mr. Gyarados' house is on.
Does this mean that... Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad. Goodness.
So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day?
I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything.
Yes, I'm very sorry to have had to drag up such a painful memories for you.
No, it's fine. Miss Green? Please, promise us you won't try to do anything like that again. Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now anyway. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. Aww, I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. Aww. It might sound a little conceited, but, well, that's how this thing has made me feel. Aww. I feel like I might be tearing up about that a bit. Aww. Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes. It's snowing. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yes, it's late. And Mr. Naruhodo, did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow? Oh, actually first. Oh, I didn't get the other letter as a piece of evidence, but this envelope is... Did he send this? Did Shamspear send that to her? Did Shamspear? Huh. Very sus. Details about Mr. Shamspear, Mr. Gyarados' lodgings, the convict, Selden. There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway. I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis.
Into Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean?
Yes. Will they have found strychnine in it or not?
Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend, Mr. Reaper.
Oh dear.
Yes, Barak Van Zeeks. But I wish you every success, of course. And though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial.
Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come?
Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there. Assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. You know what? I wish that was a valid excuse. My eyelids weren't cooperating. Sorry I couldn't make it. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's case until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to some 6 million people. But away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Sosuke-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here. And so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow will be a new dawn for all of us. Aww. I hope Olive just gets to be happy. I feel really bad for her. I just want to give her a hug. I'm really sad now. And her just being like, you know what? I had a couple brushes with death. Maybe I'm just meant to see this through. Like, that really got to me for some reason. Aww. Alright. We'll pick up with this on Saturday. Alrighty. Okay. Okay. We'll pick up with this on Saturday, and I am probably gonna do more weekend streams. Maybe 2 to 3 weeknight streams and then 1 or 2 weekend streams in the near future. That just seems to be better for my personal sleep schedule, as well as just also caffeine consumption and whatnot. Camera. But we'll continue with this on Saturday. We'll probably finish this case on Saturday, it seems. But that's all. Thank you all so much for being here. Take care of yourselves, and have a great